Yeah,
all,
we did.
all that good stuff.
Yeah, we did. The content for that isn't out yet, but yeah, we had like, I would say like 100 balloons, a giant cake that had Bitcoin and GX's logo on it. It was
Nice.
it was kind of, we definitely made it embarrassing for Sharpen. So hopefully that was what.
Yeah.
Oh, look.
Did someone throw a cake in it?
Yeah, someone did put cake on his face. So, but not enough. I really thought someone was going to pie his face, but that didn't happen. Actually, we do have birthday boy his presence with us today. But more than anything, what we have is a very, very exciting announcement about something that I don't think anyone really understands the significance of, and that's what we're going to be covering today, is the pre-launch of GX Pulse. And this may have seemed like a side project, a side benefit. Oh, I see we have the CEO of Satoshi Markets, Cottrell, with us, who is actually a very special individual when it comes to the Pulse, and we'll cover that in great detail. So honored by his presence and his involvement in GX. But the Pulse is something that is not a side project, but rather something that I think will consume. By the way, guys, if you would kindly mute all of the mics unless you are speaking, so that everyone can hear. But as I said, the Pulse is going to consume all of GX, and people will come to know GX, I think, predominantly through the Pulse. I know that's a bold statement, but it is to that significant degree that we're going to actually take Pulse and create something very, very special out of it. So just waiting for main man Javon to hop on, and then I'm actually going to show you what the Pulse looks like, the very first preview of Pulse, so that you guys can see the back office. And,
oh, I'm actually on. I just, for some reason, I'm logged into SharePan. Let me just log out and log back in. Give me a second here.
That was so I guess that was SharePan. So guys, what you guys are about to see today is going to be full-blown available by the time of our first event, which we're going to discuss as well. Extremely exciting in itself. But this right now is going to be a preview, a sampling, a little taste of what is to come. And hopefully you guys get your creativity on and your thinking and your gears start to move forward about, oh my gosh, this platform that I thought was just a place for me to be a broker and help people go from the world of fiat to crypto and dictate what percentage fee and earn commissions that way, or when people become brokers that way. As I will discuss, as I've shared in the videos that I made for GX, which you guys can find on YouTube /GXLive, I explained that GX is the what. It's the actual platform that allows you all the functionality, but the why of why someone would go through GX is, I think, the Pulse. And so as soon as Javon hops on, we're going to actually start diving into the back office.
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, awesome. So I'm just going to mute all so that Javon can unmute himself. Actually, mute all. Okay. So Javon, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay.
I am here. Thank you so much for having us on the call today. Really excited about this one. This is going to be an awesome call, guys. If you're listening in and you're in the group chats, please take a screenshot and let everyone know that we are going live. This call will be recorded, but a lot of information for tonight's call. I think it's important that you guys get your teams on.
Well said. So let everyone know, because what you're about to find out would best be conveyed by being able to see inside the Pulse and kind of how it's going to be ran. So you want to make sure that they're here to see the visuals, as well as, of course, ask their questions and get the insight scoop of what I think is going to be the most exciting part of, well, there's always like a new exciting part of GX, but I think one of the most used parts of GX is going to be the Pulse. So if it's all right, I'm going to share my screen and we can start diving in, and all questions, please feel free to type them out and we will address every single one of them. And keep in mind, this is a pre-launch preview of the Pulse. So let me know when you guys can see my screen.
Yep, you're good to go, brother.
Okay. So when you're inside of your GX Nitrous back office, you're going to see a lot of changes happening, and these migrations are going to be explained in tutorial videos. What I'm going to cover here today is this option right here, which is the one and only Pulse. As you can see, just the way that it opens up, you can tell it's going to be fun, entertaining, exciting. And look, it looks like the basic skeleton of a social platform, because that's exactly what it is. It's a social platform for all GX members, both brokers and customers. And the purpose that it's going to serve is to create an ecosystem in which people that are educators, whether they've created courses or have any sort of training or have a membership of any kind, can come here and provide those services in a way that is very socially interactive and not a static course. Like if you who in here has taken a course? If you would just drop a yes in the chat, so we know that we have some people that have, you know, whether you see it on Facebook ads or a YouTube ad or somewhere. If you've ever paid for a course, just drop a yes in there. And you'll begin to understand the value of what this is, because this right here is going to provide both a platform for people to launch their own courses in a very easy, seamless, free way initially, until we start picking up the value and the momentum and the audience here. But every one of you guys would be able to launch your own course. If you ever had if you have any expertise, if you have any trading skill, any knowledge of any markets, if you have social media game that you want to build a course out of, you're more than welcome to do that here. And it's downloading slow, maybe because I'm on a Zoom here, but it's going to be fully optimized. But here's what you can see. So you're in GX Pulse. Here's your banner. Here's your profile picture. That's the name that you would have. You have a description right here. You have the ability to make a post here. So you have a title, okay, and you can write a the actual description. So you would have a bold like this, like Ariel made a post here talking about, you know, cryptocurrency and the rise of it, and actually he's going to be possibly launching his own course about signals and trading in the crypto space. So that's going to be interesting. And then you can upload a picture here, and then what you would do is simply select which tier. This is very important, which you can also put hashtag here to categorize your post. But what's really fascinating is that you'll be able to create tiers that can range from free to higher levels. You can have a free membership, then you can have a $30 a month membership, a $79 a month membership that's even higher, a $100 membership, and each of them would be segmented. So if you wanted to send something just to your highest paid students, you can then make that valuable post of content or special training, and then select which tier you want to send that post to. Of course, if you send it free, then everyone in your entire network is going to be able to see that. Also, on the right-hand side, you see other people that you can follow. Let's go to Sharpens. As you can see, he has a banner. All this is going to be optimized, and you can subscribe to a person, and then you'll begin to see their information, their posts. As you can see, for example, I made a post because I'm going to be launching my own Pulse course academy about how to actually create courses on Pulse. And so you upload a picture, so you can advertise your actual Pulse course here, or like this is one of our programmers. Just express yourself and build a fan base, build an audience. For example, right here, you can choose to like that. You can leave a comment, and then there's gonna be a lot more functions. This is like the bare bone skeleton that you're seeing, but hopefully you guys get a understanding. I mean, who would have thought that our GX platform would have something like this, you know? Like, let's give it up to Sharpen for even thinking or even conceiving of How do we make something that is maybe just analytical like crypto and make it into a more social, more dynamic and interactive platform? And that's this. So you know, a couple of things that this does for the platform, the biggest of which is it allows now a why on the other side, because now you're going to have courses in here that may resonate with you. It doesn't have to be crypto related. Actually, in fact, I understand that our very first educator is going to be crypto related, but you can expand your imagination and realize that this can be anything and everything that you've ever taken a course for or you've ever seen a course for can go in here. So a lot of people that would be considering beginning their own courses, which I understand maybe a smaller audience base than the people that are going to be actually taking the course. But think about what this does. It removes the need for so many other things. For example, I call this the Uber of Udemy because this allows anyone to launch their own course, whether it's Skillshare or Masterclass or Kajabi or Teachable. These are other platforms that you have to pay a monthly subscription to host your course. And then how about payment? Whether it's PayPal, whether it's Stripe, whether it's getting a merchant account, how do you accept credit cards? All of these other dilemmas are solved because you have the full backings of GX that you can easily just say that you're going to have a $30 a month subscription for whatever your service is, and that's going to get auto deducted from your student's Nitrous account. How cool is that? Now, for the first time, you can have a crypto subscription because, you know, with crypto, it's hard to pay on a monthly basis or have your customers pay on a monthly basis, unlike credit cards. But here, because the payment platform is connected all under the same umbrella of GX, they're able to auto deduct that. So think about it this way. You can actually, your customers can earn commissions, or your students who may be brokers can earn commissions from their GX endeavors, and using those commissions, they can subscribe to your course or buy other courses. So it's very, very elegant and simplified. What this does is it combines social media with like a Udemy-like platform with a payment platform like PayPal. And on top of all of that, let's say you develop a great course. How are you going to get students to that course? Well, this provides some of the most targeted audience that you could possibly ever ask for, because these people are already savvy. They're educated in something like cryptocurrency. They understand that there's an ecosystem of courses and values to be exchanged. And with one button, without them needing to pull out their credit card, they can subscribe to your course and it just auto deducts their GX vault. So it's going to be extremely, extremely helpful for both people that are trying to create courses, and how about you that is just wanting to take courses? Well, you've entered the world of cryptocurrency, you've entered the GX ecosystem, and you're like, okay, I'm buying crypto. Other than holding it, what else can I do with it? And that's where you have educators like Satoshi Markets, like Cottrell, who has put together an amazing program and allows people to go from novices to become experts in the market, to be able to trade and not just be at the mercy of the markets. And I'll let Javon introduce Cottrell, because he is someone that is going to be very special to the Pulse. As we release it, he'll be the very first educator to bring all the features live and allow all of us to participate through the Pulse and through Satoshi Markets.
Thank you so much, Sal. Really appreciate you for putting this together once again. Guys, this is amazing. This is almost like Instagram, Facebook, MySpace, you name it, right? Having the opportunity to, you know, pick the trader of your choice, subscribe to their channel, and learn from the comfort of your home. I mean, this is actually one of the most incredible times to be alive. What can I say? I have the distinct privilege of, you know, bringing on board, you know, Toshi Markets. I have a great relationship with Cottrell. We actually go back several years, you know, running OTC deals, you know, from the condo, you name it. This guy is actually someone that I can consider, you know, a really close friend of mine, a business associate, but also someone that I can learn from a continuous standpoint. Like, this guy is always expanding his mind, learning from different mentors, and bringing a lot to the table, which I feel like we're all going to be able to learn from as well, especially with his wealth of knowledge. Charles has not only been able to, create millionaires in the process of becoming a successful trader, but he's also been able to create something that allows people to feel connected. One thing that I can see, especially as a trader, is we love the industry. We love looking at ways to make money, but if we don't feel connected to that individual educating us, we digress. We find different alternatives. And if we have someone that we can learn from, that we can connect with, that can be there, during the times when it's great, during the times that it's not, that's what we need as a mentor. And I know Cottrell has that in his heart because I've seen him continuously teach people, educate people, go over and above to help them advance their trading and learning in the market. So without any further ado, I want to turn this over to Cottrell. I want to ask him several questions as well as we go through this, but I also want to make sure that you guys understand the wealth that we have on this call. Like, this is somebody that when I thought about who can we bring to Global Exchange to help change the trajectory from an average trading company to a connecting audience, now being able to thrive in an industry where it's so complex. How can we now bridge the gap from trading in the Forex market, crypto market, and now create this social economy where we can all trade and earn and learn as a community, right? No one gets left behind. How can we learn and earn as a community? And I believe we've been able to nail it on the head here with Toshi Market. So, Cottrell, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much for the introduction, Javon. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Charles, this is your time to shine here. I wanted to, just give you the floor, but I wanted to ask several questions because I know for, my sake, being a trader for the past 5 years, in and out the markets, trading Forex, trading cryptocurrency, one of the things that I look forward to, being a part of is a community. So maybe you can touch on the community that you guys have been able to build with Toshi Markets, the team, the environment, and the winning culture.
Absolutely. So, as you guys know, and Javon pretty much hit the nail on the head with everything he said. I'm absolutely nothing without my team, right? Being a trader, isolating as it is, if you're not running a mentorship, is one journey of its own. But man, there's nothing unlike, there's no other feeling like doing it with people, right? Arising to the occasion with your team and with your traders, right? I got one of my main trading partners on this call here, Professor. I see that you're on here, and a few of my students that have been trading with me, Matthew, and a few guys from Toshi Markets here. I'm nothing without them, right? We love the feeling of growing together, finding out or identifying new trends or patterns or strategies together. The professor who's my lead trader for Toshi Markets, and for the whole hub, I guess, he's the main man. He has over 20 years of experience, and, he has the heart of gold like myself, right? And it's really hard to find someone genuine and authentic in this business that just doesn't only care about money. You know what I mean? He's one of the, and I got to connect you guys on a private level, but yes, Javon and Professor, and sound the whole GX team and community with what we're doing right now. I see the love and I see the dedication and hard work with everyone in both companies. I've never seen someone been able to outwork Javon or the professor or myself. And with, this dynamic with GX and Toshi, having pure hearts of going to be able to go a long way. So, long story short, the teamwork and atmosphere that we have is absolutely amazing. There's activity and conversations even happening on the downside of things. Even if we lose a trade, no one freaks out. The professor massages, everyone's concerns, even myself, because there's no trader that could hit 100%, right? So if anything does happen, and let's say I hit a stop loss, or the professor hits a stop loss, we'll say, hey guys, you know what? We'll catch this trade again tomorrow. We'll come back for revenge. You know what I mean? We're not going to go down like this week. Right. So that type of stuff that is able to ease our traders and have them, give them the same feeling like we're down there in the trenches with them, even though that they know that they have the comfort of knowing that we're a lot more experienced than them. goes a long way with a successful ratio of hitting 6 and 7 figures with your trading capabilities, right? Having that type of mentor and energy around you, it propels and catapults you to that next level. You know what I mean? And that's why I had started I'm Nothing Without My team, you know? So I got to thank you guys, my whole Toshi team, my whole family for on here, the whole GX team and family. To you guys, I appreciate you. We're going to have fun.
Now, awesome stuff. I want to ask you another question here. I'm just listening to you. I hear the passion, I hear the enthusiasm, but I want to ask you a controversial question. This is something that I feel a lot of traders, you know, they hear it, they're scared to ask it, but I want to ask you because you're one of my good friends. What do you say to the trader or to the rising trader that sees the markets, the emerging markets, and they say to themselves, well, I've heard that quote, 90% of traders blow 90% of their accounts in less than 90 days. What do you have to say for a trader looking at the industry but seeing that stat? And then a follow-up question is, how do you manage expectations and manage their emotions getting involved in the industry when they might be short on cash? They might be going through a hard time at home. And all the psychology that's required to be successful as a trader comes down to the mental game. So what do you have to say towards that stat and say towards managing the expectations of a trader?
Yeah. So that stat, the whole, you're blowing 90% of your accounts in 90 days, or 90% of traders blow 90% of their accounts in 90 days. That stat has some controversy to it. Any one of my guys could chime in at any time if you think that it's a good conversation, that if this topic has come up and you know exactly what to say. But from what I think and what I have to say personally, and this is just an opinion, obviously, that stat, I don't tell traders about that stat at all. The new guys, yes, I want them aware about every single possibility that when it comes down to the market, what to be avoiding, what to be looking out for, what to formulate in just in case something doesn't go your way, you're able to flip it. For example, if you're scalping and you meant to scalp, you turn that into an intraday, which will turn into a macro, which will turn into a swing, et cetera, right? And you got to plot that out by just expanding your mind, or time frames in another sense, right? So that whole statement of 90% of traders blowing 90% of their accounts in 90 days. Yes, it even if it may be true, I don't direct my guys to there, because I don't want them coming in to a market that obviously already doesn't play fair, as we know. Already the perception that they already lost. But the only perception that I want to give them to you should already be losing is how to scale your money. Whenever you're getting into a position, they already have to get in with the notion and belief that, hey, you know what? Every position that I'm getting into is a loss. Getting into that whole 90% of traders that's going to blow 90% of your account in 90 days has already set them up to fail long term.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that long-term aspect of that whole that whole statistic goes a long way mentally, right? It kind of emerges itself in a subconscious level in your psyche when it comes down to trading, right? You want to be sure that you're trading with a blissful mindset, and you want to be able to eliminate that fearful statement that, you know what, you might not make it. You know what I mean? So, and that's why I would rather massage the thought of risk management. Every position that you're getting into, this might be the one that might not go your way, not your whole career. You know what I mean? So that's exactly what we want to build up to, right? And I believe, Professor, if you're on here with me, if you want to also throw in your thoughts, that would be great.
I keep thoughts.
This is my main guy, guys. This is my main guy, the Professor Cornelius here.
How are you, gentlemen? Or ladies, everyone?
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us on the call today.
Oh, man, what a blessing. And thank you for all that you're doing along with us to take everyone to the next level. So greatly appreciate it. I will make a statement about it. When people give me negativity right off the bat, the first question I want to ask myself, and this is what we do in the culture, it kind of goes back to the first question you asked, Cottrell, to the culture of what we're trying to bring to Toshi. And that is, why aren't we talking about the 10% who make that 90% in 90 days? Because that's the other part of the same formula. So yes, 90%, if it's true, 90% may be losing. I mean, 90% of the people may be losing 90% of their money in 90 days, but that means there are 10% of the people who are making that same 90% in the 90 days. So how do we get them there? And it goes back to what Cottrell said. We're going to give them the answer of how to scale, how to have a strategy, because those are the things that most people don't have, because Cottrell also mentioned as well, trading is a lonely and isolated skill, craft, job, career, whatever you want to call it, depending on where you're placing it in your life. It is lonely. And until you have a team or a group of people riding with you and they're in the trenches again, like he said, with you, you won't win. You got to have somebody there. So our job is to flip that over and say, hey, we're already winning. We're part of the 10%. We're not part of the 90 that you keep reading about. And so we want to make sure that we change that mentality and let them know you can win this. Don't focus on that. Let's focus on the winning side of things.
And, I'm so happy that you touched on that, because I truly believe whatever you focus on grows. And it's important that, I asked this question because I know a lot of people hear it, and I wanted you guys to address it. And I also wanted to follow up that question that I asked with the managing emotions and managing expectations. As a trader, you're going to have some wins. You're going to have some losses, which I do call learning lessons. I don't call them losses. I call them learning lessons. But how do you manage your emotions as a trader to pick up and continue going, and to continue fighting, and to continue, seeking wisdom? Because a lot of people get beat up and they're just 3 feet from gold. But if they knew how to manage their expectations and manage their emotions, they would turn around a lot faster. So what do you guys have to say towards a comment like that?
Oh man, Professor, I'll go first on this one.
No problem.
The crazy thing about emotions and fear in this industry, it's probably the hardest thing. That was one of the last things that even me, I have a background of trading crypto for 5 years and FX for 8, right? And the emotion aspect of it all was the hardest thing. The whole, I'm sure you guys have heard, never marry or trade, the trend is your friend, stuff like that. Don't over leverage, or in other words, what I say is, you don't go broke taking profits. You know what I mean? And that's I kind of coined that term. If anybody wants to oppose me, they can let me know via email, but I kind of coined that term. You don't go broke taking profits ever, to have that clear understanding to my students that, you don't have to keep increasing your take profit, especially if you're getting there. If you're new and you're learning, you want to make sure that you're taking what you could get, because you don't want to breed something of a huge magnitude that'll eventually overwhelm you, that you can't come back from, right? Because my whole philosophy is, humans are naturally lazy. It's not a bad thing. That's just what it is. But we are forced to work hard because obviously we got to survive. You know what I mean? And going from a job, a laborious job that's paying you an hourly wage or salary or whatever, coming to this industry where you're making, potentially 5-10 times that with a click of a button. Yeah, it's easy to over leverage a little bit. You know what I mean? It's easy to let it slip, especially when you're making that faster, and now you have the time, and that's exactly what people are looking for, right? Is the time. So they're gonna get there to save the amount of time possible to enjoy their life, a better quality of life, in other words, right? So to manage that whole expectation of, this is an industry that you can get easily influenced by greed and the hesitation or fear that you're going to be executing without confidence and making a mistake, right? Because humans are naturally influenced, and if they're already afraid or greedy, they're going to make emotional, irrational, uneducated decisions based off of their mindset already. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? So this is something that I take super seriously. And I kind of beat it into their head a little bit. Hey, you don't go broke taking profit. You don't go broke taking profit. And remember that this is that guy that got rich overnight probably also lost it overnight. You know what I mean? This teaches you the discipline to where when you actually get to where you need to be, you're already so disciplined. You're like a robot. You might not even spend your money. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
and you keep majority of it. Now you got something, you're leading into that generational wealth thing where you can now disperse it amongst your family and loved ones and help out people that are super less fortunate than you. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents on, you know, helping people navigate around the notion of fear and greed and stuff like that. I'm sure Professor has something to say. If he want to touch on that, if you.
I will. 2 things in regards to how to manage your emotions and your fears. Number 1, your experiences are factual, but it doesn't make it true. And we may feel something or experience something, but we can't take that as the truth across the board, that because it happened to me, it's going to keep happening or it's going to happen to everybody else. And that's typically what you hear in trading. People call it gambling, or they say you're going to lose everything, or going back to the phrase you mentioned, the 90-day phrase or whatever. We think that those things are true rather than understanding that they're just facts.
Correct.
Secondly, how do I get past that mindset? Because fear is just simply a mindset. It's just what you're thinking. So one thing I like to tell our guys is, you may lose the trade, but you can still win the day. You may lose the day, but you can still win the week. You may even lose the week, but you can still win the month. And even if you lose the month, you still can win the year. It's all about the way that you think. So that fear is just simply based on, you know, what somebody experienced. And like Cottrell just said, the same guy that made $1 million lost $1 million. It's an experience and it's factual, but it's not true that he's a bad trader or, you know, he can't succeed at trading. It all goes back to just, you know, getting to the truth of what trading is really about. Because if you were to ask me, does it work? Well, banks trade, insurance companies trade, investment firms trade. There's no higher or greater form of making money than that. They've proven that to us, that that's the way you do it. But they tell us to go to work. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, they tell us to go to work, but they're not at work. They're trading. So,
Yep.
you know,
Crazy,
once you
right?
get to the truth, yeah, once you get to the truth, you can succeed. You got to get past all the bull. So I think our job is a difficult one, but it's to get people to get out of the mundane, ritualistic, you know, sheepish mentality and wake them up to realizing, hey, you can do this. We're already doing it, and we're going to be here right here with you until you get there. And our hope is that you do what we're doing and pay it forward.
Absolutely. And, you know, you guys are solving a huge problem. And I tell my team as well, the bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the paycheck. And, you know, back to what Cottrell was even mentioning, I think as well as you, Professor, you're talking about the statistic, you know, and I share that with our guys as well, too. The statistic does not have to be your outcome. So it's really important that, you know, we you know, gather as a team and we live by these philosophies. And I'm really excited to have you guys on board working with Global Exchange and bringing your wisdom, because we definitely are excited to, you know, entrench ourselves in it and begin learning and eventually paying it forward, as you just mentioned, to our team. So thank you so much. Sal, was there anything you wanted to do following up with this quick, you know, conversation? Because I wanted to make sure the entire team knew what to expect next. And maybe what we can do before I pass it over to Sal, Charles and the professor, you guys can just share very quickly in 30 seconds. What can we expect with this collaboration, Toshi Markets and GX? What can we expect as a team moving forward into the spring?
Well,
So, boy.
Guys, do me a favor, if you guys can please mute your mics. Thank you so much.
yeah. So I think what you could expect with us.
Sorry, Cottrell, before you go, I want to make sure the mics are muted. If you guys can please show some respect to the speakers and mute your mics. I think Tyrell, your mic isn't muted. If you can mute your mic, please. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Cottrell.
Amazing. Thank you. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, what you could really expect is you know, the value that I believe Toshi Markets has number one value, you know, with the collaboration of, you know, the guy in the lab, you know, the main man, the professor, and his team, as well as me and other traders that I've brought along, you know, as a culture now and as a community, we are going to have the number one trading platform / education learning center for anybody that's wanting to learn cryptocurrency and Forex. Yes, we've only been around for about a year now, or close to about 2 years now. We are slowly expanding the database, or as the professor calls it, the library that we have, and archived or unarchived webinars, signals, pre-recorded videos, soon coming multiple choice quizzes after each video, super high quality animated videos. There's so much that we are going to be bringing to the table. Obviously, the bread and butter, besides the amazing professor signals and analysis that he gives, is we do have an algorithm, right? In the annual period of 2019, we have done about 54% annually ROI, conservatively. That means if you have $1 million and you put the algorithm from that Toshi Markets owns over onto your account and you left it consistently, you would have made $540,000 doing absolutely nothing. But that's only with $1 million equity. That's the type of power and exponential growth that's possible if you stay disciplined and consistent. And that's exactly what we have to offer. The ability to teach you how to stay disciplined and consistent. That's the formula. The formula isn't hard or complex at all. Javon, you go to the gym, you work out, you get results after consistency. You know what I mean? I got into the position, and I'm sure the professor got into the position that he's in, or any one of my students that's crushing it in the markets. Now, consistency. They came on that webinar with me, and even if you didn't pay for a private training, we're still teaching something new on these webinars, right? Yeah. Willingness to get yourself out there and to take the initiative to even watch free content that we're pushing out. The free content is for everybody. That guy that doesn't even have $1 to his name in India. We have these things set into place where our mission is to help the little guy. I know how to trade on my own. You know what I mean? Professor knows how to trade on his own, and his main students do this. We don't have to run a mentorship. We run it so we could show you guys that there's different possibilities out there. Like the professor just said, banks and insurance companies trade, but they don't want you to work. We don't want you to work. I want everyone to have projected on them the same feeling that I've been feeling for the past 8 years of freedom, right? Financially. So, that's my 2 cents to touch on what to expect. We're going all out and we're doing everything in our power, and that what we know, obviously appropriate to your level of skill at that point, to really just help you reach the next level. You know what I mean? Help you level up with beginning, pro, or advanced webinars or educational videos. We want you to level up with our auto trader. We want you to level up with coming on the webinars. We want you to level up by looking at our signals. You know what I mean? There's so many things that we offer that it's literally a melting pot. It's literally a hub at this point that anybody could literally just come in and do their thing, right? So, Professor, do you have anything to add to that, or J-Bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you can expect through the merger, in addition to what Cottrell just said, is number one, we're going to bring awareness to the people that there is another way, there's a better way, and that you don't have to worry about market crashes. You don't have to worry about losing your job, your pensions, being fired, on the 19th year when you should have gotten something on the 20th year for retirement. You can get rid of all those things. So we're going to make people aware. We're going to make the regular, lower to upper middle class guy aware that there's another way. Rich people figured it out. Poor people, we just can't help. You got to have something, there. Maybe you got to borrow it from a friend or a family member to get started, but you got to be that lower to upper middle class guy. And that's who we really want to focus our attention on. And then the other thing is, once we make you aware, we want to revolutionize the mindset so that you can revolutionize your finances, and then you can revolutionize your life. And once we do that, that's going to cause something revolutionary all over the world. And I don't see anybody doing that. I don't see anybody doing it.
Absolutely, man.
Guys, drop some 5s in the chat to show your love and respect to the Toshi Markets family. Let these guys know how much you appreciate them. Drop some fives in the chat. Let me see some love, guys. Let me see some love. Appreciate you guys. Sal, I'm turning it back over to you.
Wow, I'm lit up by what Satoshi has to offer. I mean, and that is the synergy and the beauty of both their platform and GX, and the unity of those two is that they now get to amplify their voice and their awareness into the market, and we, the brokers and as well as our customers, get to now see that additional benefit of coming into GX and having services like Satoshi. So extremely grateful to Cottrell and his team, Professor. Looking forward to hearing and seeing a lot more of great things from you and the team that you're building and the following that you guys will have here on the Pulse. Now, one other thing that I forgot to mention about the Pulse that is somewhat significant is that should Satoshi decide, hey, our services are going well on the Pulse, we'd like to open this up to brokers. Should brokers want to go and push our subscriptions, our services to their customers, that there will be an additional income stream for brokers that wish to promote Satoshi or any other pulsers or publishers or creators of sort of courses on the platform. So on top of all the revenue stream that we already love about the platform, this additional, more predictable revenue stream is being created. And I made a video about that because that introduces a new word into the lexicon, into the vocabulary of GX, into the GX ecosystem, which is residual income. I understand that we have, a certain income that comes out of the volume of our brokerage, but it's hard to gauge that. You have somewhat of a range, but you don't really know when people are going to be purchasing crypto or going from customer to broker. But with services that have a monthly subscription, like Satoshi, like others that will come, and should you decide to be an advocate for them, you will earn commissions. In fact, your entire genealogy upline will earn commissions, and that will go into the same commission structure that you have in terms of how it splits up into the broker chain and the network that is above you, as well as the network that is below you that earns you commission. So you guys are going to absolutely love this residual side of GX, thanks to the Pulse, thanks to creators like Cottrell. So with that being said, I do want to conclude this with one grand announcement, which you guys might have gotten some light of, but that the registration has officially opened up for our very first event of 2020. This is going to be March 21st in Toronto, which is kind of the hub of where things have really taken off. And you guys can go and RSVP your tickets at checkthepulse.co. As you can appreciate the humor in the name. If someone would put that in the chat, would appreciate it. That was Sharpen's creation of checkthepulse.co. You would go there, and then if you haven't watched the 50-second promo video, which is like really fire, definitely watch that, and then hit Eventbrite. Now the tickets do go for $50, as that is it's a tremendous amount of value that is being given out that day. Also a lot of cool giveaways, not just intangible but tangible giveaways that you can take in your hand. So that is why there's a $50 ticket purchase of these events. But fortunately, for the first 100 people that book these tickets, there is a promo code. So you would hit ticket, and as you can see up here, enter promo code. So if you want to go RSVP right away, not only will you get a discount, but actually check this out. The promo code, by the way, is electricity, and check out how much that discount is. It's 100% discount for the first 100 people. So in fact, I guess my RSVP counts as one. So make sure to get one of those 99 that are still available. If you have a team, make sure to get the link out, which is checkthepulse.co, out to your team starting like right now. And let's pack that place. Let's make sure that your team is there to hear the latest and greatest from the entire lineup, including the very famous, as I think Javon mentioned, Sharpan is in the year of the Mamba, where great things are to come from Sharpan. This is his first event that he's holding this year with tremendous amount of announcements. The stuff that you guys have seen today is nothing compared to what you will see from the corporate team, as well as Cottrell and Satoshi. They will also be there. So make sure to RSVP. It's going to be a great event for social media, for you to be there with your team and to feel the energy, to meet us in person, and to feel the gravity of what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to catching up with all of you guys there. Make that a part of your schedule and definitely advocate that to your team. This has been a pleasure getting to share the insights that I get to experience with you guys here, which, by the way, as we wrap this up, I do want to give you a view of where I am, which is the support center in Bangalore, India. And this is where a lot of the magic happens. So looking forward to sharing a lot more insights with you guys, always at your service. And today, hopefully, you guys got insights as to what the GX platform is growing into, thanks to the GX Pulse. I really want to thank Javon for helping to coordinate this. Cottrell, genuinely appreciate everything that you're adding to the platform. And of course, tremendous amount of love and respect to everyone that is a part of the GX platform. Know that we're here to serve you, and know that we are headed towards great things, starting with this mega event. I think that will be the huge catalyst that takes this platform that I think is extremely undervalued right now. I mean, I don't think people realize the caliber of what we're doing here. And yes, this may become a multi 200 plus $1 million $200 million plus company because of all that it adds in terms of its value. But right now, those of you guys that are part of it get to experience the journey to getting to there. And I think everything that's going to be announced on the 21st will give you the vision of, oh my gosh, this is the place to be, and this is the place to bring our audience. So I'll catch you guys on the 21st. Make sure to RSVP at checkthepulse.co, and I will catch you all on the very next Zoom, and of course in person on March 21st. Appreciate all of you.